Hi guys. Hi guys. Hola. I'm gonna give it a minute for people to tune in before I start. How are you guys doing? I'm a little hot, so don't mind me if you guys see me like glistening because I was finally working on the how do you call it? The video, the bachata introduction video that people have been requesting on YouTube for like forever now. So I finally took some time to do it, and it's like a step by step. So make sure you guys are subscribed to check it out. So yeah, so I was doing like a basic step by step and giving you guys some pointers on what not to do with bachata when you're dancing out in the dance floor. And me and Babe were doing a reenactment of what bachata is starting to look like nowadays, and she had me sweating. Oh, and she almost dropped me. So, yeah.
I did drop you.
No, actually, she did drop me, which sucks. Thanks, and you, ladies? We're good. Babe is chilling, I on the couch, watching me do my thing. How are you guys doing? Anyways, you know what? Let's just go ahead and jump in. Anyway, so of course the other day I put the post about I guess I'll just repeat it if I can remember it. Is how does it go? I just want somebody to hold my hand or hold me. I don't want nobody to fix me. I just want somebody to be with me while I'm fixing myself. So let's get into it. Let's just get into it, because that was actually, to me, it was like a little test. I wanted to see where you guys' mind was at. And it was actually so surprising to me. Actually, no, it's ironic because it surprised me, but then at the same time it didn't. I'll explain why. It surprised me because I'm like, wow, I guess what surprised me more is that not a lot of people said no. That to me, I was like, damn, does everybody fucking think the same? And then, you know, and then it does not. I forgot what I was saying. Hi guys, welcome. We started. Thank you. You know. So yeah, so you know, it like surprised me, but then it didn't surprise me. Because I think that unless you go through a certain amount of experience as far as a relationship goes, you will always have that mentality. And I think to me personally, I think it's a big misconception. And I'll explain why. And I get why you guys have that mentality because, again, I've been there. I've been there before. And I've been with people that have been there before where they like, so I'll explain, I guess, me being in my situation and them being in their situation, because you know, I feel like when you get into a relationship, well, first of all, let's start off with the fact that a lot of people are looking for relationships when they don't even have a stable relationship with themselves. And I feel like that creates problems. And I feel that a lot of people do not take the time to get to know themselves and to get to understand what's important to them, to set their own standards. So what do? They date around, you know? And a lot of people think, I have a strong belief that we normally know right from wrong. I think that that's a given. We know when we are not considering somebody's feelings. We know when we're doing something that we shouldn't be doing when we're in a relationship. We know all of this stuff. So to me, I guess there's different types of fuck ups. You know what I mean? There's different types of being there for somebody and being supportive compared to somebody just completely disregarding your feelings. You know, I feel like people use that shit as an excuse. Hold on, I'm trying to look. Hi guys, welcome. So I feel like people use that as an excuse, you know, and I feel like a lot of people are stuck in this generation where they just simply don't want to grow, and they keep making the same mistake, keep making the same decisions over and over. So where does that ever end? I guess the point is, like, where does it end where somebody just doesn't feel the need to constantly be there to hold you and guide you through constant fuck ups. You know, there's a difference between you learning about life, and then there's a difference between you dealing with somebody who simply doesn't know what the fuck they want. And they, you know, especially women in relationships, they have the tendency to want to experiment, want to have their options open, and people aren't honest about it. Because I feel like if people from the beginning are honest about dating, you know, like ideally there will be a lot less broken hearts if people were honest from the beginning. You know, if people, if people were honest from the beginning, you know, like now I'm at that age in my life where even I had to get into understanding the whole dating life because I never knew what that was, you know, and I've reached that point in my life. Well, clearly now I'm in a relationship, but if I was single and I wanted to talk to somebody, I would be honest about it up front because I know what I'm looking for. And I'm not gonna be the type to go and sit there and entertain one person and be like, oh yeah, I'm only talking to you. If people were honest from the get and said, hey, listen, I know what I'm looking for. I don't mind getting to know you, but I'm also getting to know fulanita and fulanita. That's up to the person to be complete, you know, to decide whether they want to stick around for that or if they want to be in that type of situation. But I at the end of the day, that's what dating is. But people don't get that. People think that, and I know because I've been there, people think that dating is like, oh, hey, I meet you, I like you, we're talking, blah, 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 I'm claiming you, and that's the end of it. People cling on to that whole relationship shit, and that's how you end up with a broken heart because you're looking for somebody who hasn't even found themselves yet, and they're learning through you. Yo, I'm like legit hot. I think it's the light. Hold on, guys. Let me see the lighting. Ooh! Is that okay? Oh, man. There we go. At least I put it lower because this light is making me hot. Hold on. Let me read, guys. What am I talking about? You should have been here at 9, boo. Just kidding. Let's continue to talk. Anyways. Let's go back to, because I feel like once I start talking about a million things at once, trying to prove a point. But, you know, I feel that nobody is responsible for your feelings. I have a strong belief that nobody should sit there and fucking wait for you to get your shit together. Nobody should sit there and, you know, I've been in those types of relationships where people are constantly asking for patience. And it's like, to me, that granted, you know, I think that it all depends on the situation that you're in. But I feel like the people that are normally asking for patience is people that don't have their shit together or people that haven't found themselves spiritually. So then they end up like expecting you to be understanding, expecting you to help them throughout the process. Like, no, you know, if you find somebody that's fully, you know, like capable and ready to be in a relationship and understands the basic fucking responsibilities of a relationship, because that's a lot of people like even the fucking common sense. And then you find somebody that's like, you know, attracted to that growth, attracted to that type of individual that you are. Only because you're attracted to that type of individual doesn't necessarily mean that you're ready for a person like them. So then guess what happens? You start trying to act like you're at their level. So you start dating them and then you realize like this person's completely up here and you're still like trying to figure yourself out. Understand, it's not going to fucking work out. It's not going to work out. And you cannot possibly expect somebody that knows who they are completely, because there's levels of life. Somebody that knows who they are to just sit around and wait for you to learn about life, learn about relationships. It's nobody's fucking responsibility. Nobody has to sit there and wait for you. Nobody has to sit there and give you a couple of years of their life just because you're still figuring this shit out. And I think that normally boils back to the fact that a lot of people, like I keep saying, half empty tanks are looking for this full package, this relationship, when they're not even fucking ready for it, you know? And then back to the quote is, you know, I don't want nobody to fix me. At the end of the day, it's nobody's fucking responsibility. So if you ever feel the need to be with somebody because you feel like they're going to fix you or fix the damaged parts of you or prove everybody that you can find somebody that's loyal to you, understand that you're not going to find that. You're not going to find that. Why? Because you can't even offer that shit to yourself, my nigga. You know what I mean? You can't offer it to yourself. So everything that you expect to find in a partner, if you can't give it to yourself, how the fuck are you expecting it from somebody else? How are you expecting somebody to just sit around and wait for you to get your shit together? I had made a point. I think I was talking to my bestie about it, and I was telling, you know, or I was just saying it out loud. I was like, you know, in order for you to be in a successful relationship, I had like thrown out there the fact that, you know, I'm like, you need to have your own place, you need to have your own car, you need to have your own money, you need to be like fully capable to be by your fucking self, you know. And I can't remember if it was my best friend or not, but she basically responded to me and she was like, what do you mean? Like, no, you can have a relationship with, you know, without having a car. Like, if I have a car, we should be good. No, my nigga, it shouldn't be that way. Cause that's, at the end of the day, you guys gotta understand that, you know, I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, relationships shouldn't feel like a full-time job. Well, my nigga, relationships are a fucking full-time job. You gotta literally consider the person's feelings like 24/7. You know what I mean? They are a full-time job, although it shouldn't feel that way. If you're with the right person, it's never gonna feel like, oh, this shit is tough. This shit is hard, you know? And so yeah, anyway, she was like, oh no, you know, like it shouldn't matter. I should be able to have her back. I'm like, it doesn't fucking work like that, because you should not, like, everything, you guys gotta think about all the different things that affect a relationship. Money affects a relationship, your job affects a relationship, everything affects a relationship. So how are you going to have a successful relationship when you're both fucking struggling? Like, you're gonna be too focused worrying about everything that's missing, that your focus isn't gonna be on the relationship. And guess what happens? This is what normally happens. Then you go and, you know, you end up fucking finding somebody else that has their shit together. And you're like, you know what? Why am I struggling with this bitch? Well, I could have this bitch, you know? And literally, it's all like a fucking vicious cycle, you know? And at the end of the day, you should not be responsible. Even, I think somebody on here even asked me that too. You know, I love a challenge. Oh, and I love when you give me challenges, bitch. So, somebody asked me here too, and I'm not going to say who it is, but she's going to know who it is. She reached out to me and asked me, oh, hey, you know, when is it the right time for me to pop the question? Right? Like, you know, to propose to her girl. And I'm over here thinking, I'm like, do you have a stable job? You know, I think about all the realistic shit as an adult, you know, because as a kid, when you're fucking in love, trust me, I've been there. I did it with my girl, you know, like, you don't worry about everything, making sure you're good in your life. No, you're like, oh, what do you know? I'm in love. Let's go fucking get married and spend a couple of G's. And like, the focus is just completely fucking off. So, you know, I'm like, well, do you have a job? Do you have a house yet? Do you have a vehicle? Does she have a vehicle? Does she have a house? Does she have this? You know, and in my mind, you know, I think about the million things and I'm like, how are you planning on marrying a woman when you can't even fucking plan a wedding? You know? And I think about shit like that, and it's always like, it's always the wrong, I guess, the people that aren't ready, that are always ready to just fucking jump. Just relax. Learn how to fucking slow down and understand that at the end of the day, nobody's responsible for your feelings. Nobody's responsible. Like, of course, it's amazing to be with somebody that makes you feel loved, that makes you feel secure, you know, like you don't got to worry about no bitches. It's amazing when you find all of that. But at the end of the day, you know, I feel like a lot of women also suffer from fucking insecurity issues. Like, that's one of the major relationship problems, you know? So then, you know, we feel responsible. I'm like, damn, am I not making you fucking feel beautiful enough that, like, you know, you're still insecure? And, you know, and it's like a constant, like, struggle just trying to fucking save somebody. I've been in those relationships where I'm constantly feeling like I'm trying to prove to you, like, come on, man, you know? And then I've had that type of luck where, as well, you know, they start dating somebody good looking. You know, that is the fucking, that's even harder, because if they have trust issues before you, they're gonna have even more fucking trust issues now. Like, why should it feel that way? You know, why should it feel like I have to constantly maintain this relationship or make you feel secure just because you're dating somebody that's good looking, you know? And not just talking about any personal experience right now. I'm just saying in general. Like, I've gone through that. You know, I've gone through the constant the feeling of saving people. I used to say that shit was more like a curse to me, because before, in most of my relationships, that's how I felt. I felt like I was spending more time in the relationship trying to prove something, trying to save the relationship, trying to make it work. And this whole entire time that I'm thinking that there's something wrong with me, or something wrong, you know, or maybe something that I'm lacking, making me question my fucking self. It's really, you know, the other person, like, their own personal issues, and people don't fucking grow, you know? And one thing that I pointed out the other day, which I feel like it's important and relevant now to point out now, is the difference between hope, okay? Setting up I feel like some people set themselves up for heartache. There's a difference between hoping that somebody turns out to be who they want, like, you know, hope and potential. I can't remember who I had this conversation with. But anyways, besides the fact, you know, I feel like a lot of people get into relationships, and I know I'm guilty of that. I know that you guys are guilty of that. Getting into relationships where you feel like, you know what, this person has potential. You know, like, this can possibly work. But what are you, like, potential and facts? You got to think about that. Like, don't go into a relationship thinking like, oh yeah, this person can possibly be this amazing. This person can possibly be this good. We can possibly get married. I feel like if you have that natural connection, you just know. So don't jump into relationships where there's potential. Because there's a big difference between somebody that's fully capable and ready to be in a relationship compared to somebody that's just full of potential. And that goes back to the quote. Oh, you know, I am working on me now. So you should get the time to get to know me because I'm working on myself, and I'm going to be this amazing person eventually. Like, do you understand when somebody's getting to know themselves, how many times they're going to change their mind? One minute they want this, the next minute they want that, the next minute, you know, like, you just never fucking know. So to me, whenever I think of somebody expecting me, for example, I'm using myself as an example, somebody expecting me to sit around and wait for them to figure out what they want out of life, to figure out, you know, if I'm the one that they want in their life. Like, I stopped waiting for that. You know what I mean? And I just, you know, I feel like I made that switch, because I feel like we spend so much time like literally wanting and expecting and wanting and, you know, just wanting this fake fucking relationship that we're so eager to just find the next person with potential to see if it works out. Like, it's sad. I feel like it's so fucking sad, you know? Like, I told my girl, I'm like, listen, if you wouldn't have popped up back in the picture, I would have been single as fuck. Like, single. And I wouldn't have even entertained or even spoken to anybody because of that. It goes back to the whole thing, you know. There's a lot of damaged women out there that are so busy, you know, like they're so full of insecurities. They're so full of jealousy. They're so full of craziness. Like, it's so fucking unattractive. And they think it's the most hilarious thing. And they think it's cute. And I'm just like, whoa, what? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. So when a lot of people, you know, said yes to that post about, you know, that you want somebody to stick by you, understand that nobody is responsible for you. Nobody. Especially, you know, somebody that has their shit together. Like, no, they're not gonna sit around and wait. No. No, like, it really just does not work like that. I know that that's the expectation, and I get it. I know we all want somebody that's patient with us. I know we all want that stability, granted. But I feel like that when you're finally ready to get all of that, it's because you're able to offer it to yourself. So whenever you think about somebody having to be there for you, and there's a lot of people too that are like in 5-year relationship and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe that they left me. They chose them. Like, finally, they had a reality check and they chose them. I've chosen me before. And it's so fun. I always find it funny because a lot of people are like, oh my God, did you get cheated on? Oh my God, did this happen? Oh my God. And I'm just like, no. I just walked away. Like, that's it. Oh my God, so you just threw away 5, 6, 7 years away just because of me. Yep. Listen, where love is no longer being served, walk the fuck away. Whenever you are in a toxic relationship where somebody's literally on a vicious cycle of not growing, walk away. Whenever you feel like somebody's being possessive, controlling, or have any type of issue with who you are and who you are striving to be, walk away. That is like the best thing about being able to date. The fact that you do not need a valid ass fucking reason. Well, actually, no, that came out wrong. That you don't need to be like brokenhearted or cheated on to walk away from a relationship. Like, you really don't. Hi, my lovin'. Welcome. And I feel like that's why so many people waste so many years, like, in relationships, because they're like, oh no, we made this commitment, we're gonna make the shit work, but then they're miserable as fuck. Or if not, they're on here watching me when they should be paying attention to their girl. You know what I mean? Let me shut up. No, but on a serious note though, like, it's sad. It's sad. Like, the dating cycle and madness that's happening, some of you people just need to stay the fuck away from dating, period. Like, there's a lot of people that ask me for relationship advice and right off the bat, I'm like, but you're not ready for a relationship, so why are you trying to make it work? I don't understand. Hold on. Let me read a little bit. You gotta be patient with yourself enough to fix yourself. Well, that's the thing. To me, it's not really about fixing, okay? I don't even like to use the word fixing. I feel like growth is the proper term. At least that's how I like to look at it. You know what I mean? If you look at who I was a couple of years ago, shit, I even look at my YouTube channel sometimes. I'm like, Dios mío, Maria, what were you saying? What were you doing? Or like, you know, you look back and you judge everything about you because you're like, damn, you can't even believe that's where you were. And, you know, I look back all the time and I literally wake up every single day and I'm like, yo, how can I be a better person? How can I look better? How can I act better? How can I, you know, what can I do better? Where can I grow in? You know what I mean? Or what can I be good at? That's another thing, you know, like when you talk about growth, you talk about growth in all aspects, you know, and I feel like people are so busy just trying to keep up with the different things going on around in the world that they forget to feed that positivity, that energy, that knowledge into themselves, you know, like, hold on, expanding. I know, I'm so happy that it's growing. Look at this bitch. Yawn. But yeah, you know, I feel like people have to be on a constant, like growth is a constant journey. And like I mentioned before, I have such a problem with people who are like, well, this is me. Like, this is who I am, you know? And one of the biggest mistakes that people actually do in relationships is get into a relationship and change the person. Oh my God, you don't want to make that mistake. You really, hold on, let me see how much time I have left. Hold on, guys. I can't see it. Anyways, you know, like that's like mistake numero uno. Don't go into a relationship expecting to change somebody. Like I've had situations where somebody's, you know, approached me about a personal situation. They're like, yo, but they just won't change. They've been dating for like, you know, 3 or 4 years. They just won't change. And I'm like, okay, how do you expect them to change? Like you met them like that. So why are you expecting them to change? Oh, but because, you know, I thought that by me being patient or me pointing it out, it would lead them to want to change. I'm like, no. I mean, it's one thing for you to communicate like, hey, this bothers me. But for you to actually expect somebody to change for you, you're making a big ass mistake. Nobody changes for anybody. If anything, at the end of the day, we have to choose ourselves and choose what makes us happy. So when you go into a relationship expecting somebody to change for you, that's not gonna fucking happen. And that's exactly the point of why you should not expect somebody to fix themselves while they're with you. Because at the end of the day, people have to go through certain life experiences in order to want to better themselves. So if you've ever been in that relationship where you feel like you're constantly trying to prove a point, constantly trying to communicate something, and you feel like it's just going in one ear and out the other, it's because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much you preach about it. If that person is not ready or mentally prepared to acknowledge what you're saying, nothing's going to happen. So you have to be in a constant relationship, relationship where you yourself wants to grow and you see that your partner wants to do the same thing. Like if you're both constantly growing together, that's a completely different concept than you being in a relationship and feeling like you're just fixing each other and fucking up and fixing each other, then figuring it out and then cheating on each other and then expecting this person to be there and save you. And listen, we're not over here Captain Save-A-Hose. We're not here to fucking save anybody or mentor anybody along the way. You know, I feel like that's what your early teen years are for you to, you know, date around and see what you like, what you don't like, and get out of the fucking habit of, you know, lowering your standards or what it is that you like about somebody or something that you end up like, you know, example, like you're like, oh, you know, I want somebody who has a career, example. And then you find somebody that works at fucking Publix and you're like, oh, but they're such a sweetheart. And oh my God. There we go. Potential, bitch. Like that relationship is not going to work out because you're lowering your fucking standards. Okay. So if you have a mentality, and again, keep in mind, Hold on, let me try to read, guys. I'm looking sideways. When people get in a relationship and think they have to fix something, absolutely wrong. Yep. Hold on. Girl, you know I stay preaching. Where was I? Shit, I forgot. But yeah, the minute that you feel like you're lowering your standards, and set them high. Set them high. But guess what? You can't be one of those people. You're like, to me, it's fucking hilarious when I hear like these little chamaquitos say, oh yeah, I want a bitch that can cook, that can clean, that got her own place, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, this motherfucker's still living with their parents. Can't cook fucking some Pop-Tarts or some cereal with milk. And they're over here fucking like, what? What are you talking about? Stop it. Stop it. You know, like that to me is just like the most ridiculous thing ever. So in order for you to set standards, you have to meet those standards. Okay. And the only way for you to go and beat your own standards is going above that. And realistically, that should be the way. Like that should be how the cycle starts. So stop thinking about dating, because I feel like that's all people think about nowadays. Relationships. Oh, and I want love, and I want a relationship, and I want this, and I want that. Nah. Stop. Like, it's not that serious. Like, if you guys want to fuck, like, and I have to be honest, if you guys want to fuck, there's plenty of people out there that, like, can be fucked, but it's not me. I can't even talk about that. I can't even go into that topic because I don't do that. But I'm saying, if that's what you want out of a woman or a situation, there's plenty of people out there that are willing to just oh god, I feel like I went on a rant. Hold on. You need new friends. Yeah, you do. Damn, I got like the lighting, guys, and it's the first time that I do a live with the lighting, and my freaking head is killing me now. Because if I turn it off, it's, ooh, see? Bomb lighting though. But if I turn it off, it's too dark. Or is it okay? Let me know if you guys can see me so that way I can shut it off. I can't really tell. But anyways, moral of the story is, stop expecting people to be patient with you while you figure yourself out. I'm not judging you. I'm not judging you. You're not like to joke around. Okay, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. Yeah, it was starting to give me a headache. Okay, perfect. By the way, guys, make sure to tune in. As I was saying in the beginning, I was recording the basic bachata. Finally did the video. I'm teaching you guys how to learn the basic. I'm gonna do like a couple of bachata videos throughout the next couple of weeks, learning the beginners bachata from intermediate to like, learning how to freestyle on your own. So I will be posting that soon, and I got a backache because my girl dropped me, okay? She dropped me. We were trying to do some professional shit, and she dropped me. She's gonna fucking kill me. But yeah, anyways, so I want to know you guys' feedback. Do you guys disagree with me? What are your thoughts? Because like I said, I like to brainstorm. So if you have something that's against anything that I said, go ahead and try me. And then we'll do the back and forth. Now that you're single, bueno, mi amor, single or not single, it doesn't matter. I mean, you can find a new dancing partner, boo. Okay, so what do you disagree on, boo? Go ahead, toss them at me. Thank you, my loving. I've been trying to perfect these bitches. Hola, mi amor. How you doing? We already discussed the topic if that's what you tuned in for. But we're about to start going back and forth now. So what do you disagree on? It really opened my eyes to a lot of things. Good. Well, of course. Well, okay. So let's dig into it more. It's not really about material things, and I don't want it to come off like, oh, you gotta have a Mercedes Benz, or you gotta have this, or you gotta have that. At the end of the day, what you do have does entail a lot with relationships. You know what I mean? Like me personally, for example, let's say me, for example, I don't want to be in a relationship with somebody like me. I'm clearly a mother of two. I have my car. Let's say I get with somebody that doesn't have a car. Now I have to be responsible to work around my schedule or help them out. Like that to me. And trust me, you know, like I get it, being understanding and being able to be there for your partner. But at the end of the day, it shouldn't be that way. Me personally, I don't feel like I should have to depend on anybody, or anybody should have to depend on me for me to have my own shit together. You know, I feel like in order for a successful relationship to go smoothly, everybody should be fully capable of maintaining themselves and having their shit together. Because the less shit that you have to worry about, the more successful the relationship will be. That to me is my personal opinion. You know what I mean? The less that you have to worry about, oh, babysitting somebody, oh, because somebody's in debt, oh, because somebody has a low credit. Like, let's say, for example, I'm trying to buy a house. And I'm getting with somebody, you know, who doesn't have their shit together, but we're in a relationship and we plan on getting married. How am I going to fucking buy a house with somebody who doesn't have credit? You know what I mean? Like the basic understanding, like that to me makes no sense. So that to me means like, oh, okay, so, you know, then I'm going to have to go buy the house myself, which I'm gonna prove a point. You don't have, like, it's not like you have to buy a house with your partner. But let's say that was the vision. How am I supposed to buy a house with my partner when they can't even, they don't have the deposit and they don't have the credit to buy a house? You know what I mean? So then that means we have to wait for you to fix yourself and work your way up, so then we can eventually achieve our dream. I don't feel like anybody, no. You shit together and you got with somebody because you wanted. Because you wanted to, you weren't looking. No, and it's not even about their bank account. It's not really about the money. Like, I feel like you're misunderstanding, because you're talking about money and materialistic things, and I haven't spoken about either one in that sense. I'm just saying that people should have their shit together. Like, for example, people are too busy and too focused worrying about relationships, or, for example, worrying about buying a ring when they don't even have a car. You know, like what I mean? Like, just like when you go in the streets and you see these niggas with the new fucking iPhone 8, new fucking Jordans on, like, acting like he fucking balling, yet this nigga don't have a car. Like, the priorities. I guess that's what I meant to say. They need, yeah, I do feel like they need to have their shit together. You know, I was giving a car as an example, but I truly feel like people should have their shit together. Like, correct. Yeah, no, well, you know, like that's why I was clarifying and, you know, making sure that it wasn't, I wasn't really talking about material things. I was just saying in general, like, you want somebody that's like on a constant, not even competition necessarily, but on the same game plan as you know, like, it should be like this, where you're both just striving to be the absolute best, you know? And so imagine this, let's compare like a little scenario, right? Let's say, for example, you know, I'm single I have my own house, I have my own car, you know, working on my credit, working on myself, doing my thing. I have my you know, my stable job, because a stable job is important, I feel. You know what I mean? I have my stable job. And then I have this person over here. Doesn't matter who the fuck they are. You know, this person over here who doesn't have a job, who doesn't have anything going for them. But they, you know, they're a great person, and they're loyal. And they're, you know, they're just a great human being, and they're sexy, they're good looking. Do you think my relationship is gonna work with this person when I'm over here and they're just like, no, it's not gonna work? So let's say, for example, I'm over here, got my shit together, got everything, you know, I don't depend on anybody. And keep in mind, and it's not like I'm over here bashing anybody or acting like anybody's any lesser. Trust me, I know the struggle, you know. My bank has been at zero before. You know what I mean? Like, I've been there and I get it. I've struggled, you know, but I get myself out, you know. And so imagine me being here, example, and then you meet somebody with the same exact level of, you know, spirituality. They got their shit together. They're fucking amazing. I mean, you cannot possibly compare this person up here to this person down here. The relationship with this person down here will go so different than this person up here. Because guess what? We're already over here. And these two people that got their shit together are like, you know what? Let's get even better together. And then it's like this. Boom, 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 boom. When you're just focused on going up. But when you're over here, this person that's fully ready, working on somebody that's fixing themselves and trying to still figure that shit out, you're like this. You're like literally like picking them up constantly. And I've been in that type of relationship where I'm like, you know, like Santa Claus, like dead ass just fucking hauling, like, come on, man. And that's literally how it's felt. It's felt like it's like a constant, like, why am I still saving you? Like, you don't even want this bad enough for yourself. Yeah, I'm over here fucking saving you. And it's like this, look, like, you just fucking, and guess what comes with all of this? Comes stress. Comes fucking depression, comes all that other extra shit, anxiety, toda vaina, because you're just like, oh, fuck. You know what I mean? And that to me is why I say, like, you're not going to have a healthy, successful relationship constantly feeling like you're saving somebody. And the problem is that, again, it's not your responsibility to be on a constant cycle to prove that or to want that for them, you know? Because trust me, you will waste a lot of valuable time helping somebody grow when they don't even get the basics. You know, if they don't want it bad enough for themselves, get the fuck out, man. Get the fuck out. That's where settling comes in. What's that, boo? Yeah, total frustration. That's what that is. And I can't, man. I've been there before. I'm just like, you know. And you know, and it's different because, like, once you're in a relationship and you get to know somebody, you know, you get to know a lot about them that you didn't know even at the, you know, like the first year. And you just learn and learn and learn more about somebody. And then eventually you got to understand that different situations take out different sides of people. And I've realized that because I'm like, damn, well, let's say, for example, they had a bad day at their job and they come home and they're just like, you know, and you've never seen that part of them, but then you see how they handle it. You know what I mean? And then when they're just a shitty character because they had a shitty day at work, you start realizing that and picking up these bad characteristics that might not be working with who you are striving to be. So like I said, the moment that you feel like it's toxic and you feel like, okay, well, you know what? It looks like I'm trying to get up here and you're still down here. I'm going to have to walk away. And it's okay to fucking walk away. Hold on, let me read. Even some people that actually gave their stuff together can still do that too. Yeah, no, of course. Oh, that's for sure. But that's what I'm saying. That's when the different characters come on. You know, the different characteristics that maybe in the beginning of your relationship, you didn't experience that with them because you were both, you know, too busy, like, yeah, let's accomplish all this shit. But then at the end of the day, people get lazy in relationships. Like I said, relationships are a full-time job, even though it shouldn't feel that way. They are. But people get lazy. You get comfortable. You get comfortable as fuck. So you stop doing even the bare minimum. At the end of the day, I feel like people get so fucking comfortable, and it's like, why are you comfortable, bitch? Do you know I can walk away? Like, I mean, and at the end of the day, and it's not even about walking away and finding somebody new. It's like, do you know I could, you know, like como el refrán que dice, mejor estar solo que mal acompañado. That's how I feel now. Like, you know, para eso yo estoy sola. Oh my God. Oh, and God forbid you say that. Because the moment you say that, that's the ironic part. That the moment you say that, the moment you start putting yourself first out of nowhere, oh my God, you like, I can't believe it. How are you just giving up on me? Like, bitch, what? That's not me giving up on you. That's not me quitting. Like, I've been giving and giving. But there comes a point where you fucking have to start putting yourself first. You know, and then you look like you're selfish, and then you look like, you know, or ay, y el colmo, you know, God forbid that you're trying to focus on yourself. People don't even see it like that anymore. Now it's like, so what new bitch you talking to? Who'd you meet? Where'd this come out of nowhere? Like, understand that. I think that people are so blinded at the fact that they put people through bullshit that they're just like, oh my God, how are you losing interest this quick? Like, no, bitch, it's been dying. I've been saying it, and you're just like completely oblivious to what's happening. You know, oh man, I don't know. I feel like relationships are more complicated than they should be. And it's mainly because of that. I feel like I have such a strong belief that if people even understood the basic common sense shit of what it took to even maintain a relationship, they probably wouldn't be in one. Because a lot of people can't fucking keep up, can't even keep track. And again, a lot of half-assed people looking for fucking the full package when they ain't nowhere near that shit. So, I'm gonna end this right here, guys. I hope you guys, I guess, at least brainstorm. Well, let me know, wait, first, before I go. Do you guys have any other comments, opinions that we can battle out? This bitch. Yo, I'm serious, man. Yo no puedo. And trust me, I know, and I'm guilty of many of these things too. Many of these things too. I've been in relationships too where I have taken full, like, even being me, you know, being a mom, I've taken on the responsibility of, you know, having somebody with potential and taking care of them financially and, you know, in every way possible. And that shit creates like a fucking, you know, like, como te digo, it's like a weight on your shoulders. It's like, damn, I shouldn't feel like I have a third child. You should be doing your own fucking thing. We will battle later. Okay. All right, my loves. So I hope you guys enjoyed the live. I know we yapped a while, but thank you so much for tuning in. I'll probably post this on YouTube for the people that missed it. So, bye, bitch. Text me. Bye, guys.